You are live. Howdy, y'all. That's great light for me.
Hello.
I'm like a showy figure in the corner.
You should have worn your hat.
My hair is all mashed down because I've been wearing.
You need a haircut.
I've been wearing a tassel cap in the morning. A tassel cap.
Tassel.
What you and apparently a bunch of other Texas morons would call a
Toboggan.
Although
right.
there is no.
Where's my Texas peoples?
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Hi, Tom.
What's that weather? It's probably chilly out there. I don't know. You never know back there.
Is it Jersey?
Yeah, I think New Jersey. Should be pretty chilly, I would think. Although it's only 2 hours now, so it's only 8 o'clock, I think.
What's happening?
What's happening?
Speaking of what's happening.
It says there's 5 people on. Who's out there?
Where's
and
Craig?
4 people.
Where's Craig?
And 4. And 3.
Oh Lord. That's not a good sign. Well, what's happening? Are we gonna just wait for
It's 6 o'clock, but what hey Alan.
Alan?
Fubar Ranch is Mark.
Matt.
Mark? Mark.
Okay. Hi, Dino.
Hey, Dean.
I'm not alone. Oh, that was the tape.
I'm pretty sure Fubar Ranch is Mark.
Oh, darn.
Got it.
Sorry, Mart.
Yeah.
Mart.
Well, we had a couple.
You are now Mart.
I was going to say you are now Mart. You will now be known as Mart. I knew it was Mark because we've emailed a couple of times.
I forgot. I'm
52,
sorry.
That's not bad at all, especially at 8 o'clock at night. That's not bad.
I know like 3 marks. I know like 3 marks, so it's hard to keep them all straight. It's like Arizona High Desert Homestead. Then there's High Desert Homestead.
It hit the 70s in West Virginia. Wow.
What does that mean?
I mean,
is that bad?
West Virginia's backed by my mom. I mean, that's.
Oh, so that's really warm.
And yeah, I mean, I talked to her
this
recently.
Time of year.
I think the last time I talked to her, she said it was cold, and there were even flurries in the forecast. But she said
it was rainy.
The forecast a couple of days away from that was warm again. So it's just the temperature, especially East Coast, is just up and down and up and down.
I forgot to say hi, Alan. I missed Alan.
Wow, 70s.
West Virginia.
You and we. Let's see. We were.
We have a friend from West Virginia.
I don't know what our high was supposed to be today. Around 80, maybe.
Give
or take. I'm not really sure. It was a little cloudy today, but we were probably
around 80. I wasn't here
80.
most of the day. I took a field trip.
Oh yeah. I was out.
I check it out. Timmy says I check it out.
Working on the box beam today. So, so hopefully people got a chance to see yesterday's video, which showed. It really just showed kind of the start of putting the box beam on top.
Oh, did it?
It showed that we made a bunch of pieces of the box beam. So we put a bunch of just 2x4 boxes together, outer edge boxes that didn't have the supports along the way in them yet. But that was the first step. And then I kind of threw them up on top of the wall thinking I was going to do everything up on the wall in place. Because again, there's a bunch of joints that I'm trying to kind of, offset seams and offset joints of, plywood versus
oh, it's Eric.
Hey, Eric.
Hi, Eric and Pat.
Plywood versus 2x4s, and just to try and offset everything to make it as strong as possible. And so I threw it up on the wall thinking I was going to do it all in place, and then I guess we didn't. It'll show up in the next video, but I changed my mind slightly on that, so I took things back down. There is some stuff. It was tough to do things on the wall. Not a surprise, up on top of the wall.
I was wondering how you were going to do.
Well, I mean, it could have been done. It was just, I started doing it. It was just really slow. And then I realized there were a handful of things that I could do down on the ground. So I brought the pieces down and I did some of the work on the ground. If there's something that it didn't matter where it lined up or something wasn't going to be exactly, if it didn't have to be, if it could be put in place before it was lifted up. Part of the reason is I can't put too much in place before I lift it up because of the way I want to put it together. it would get really long and then I can't put it up. So you basically have to assemble it in place, or else once you get to a certain point, you can't lift it up anymore. So that's why I thought I'd have to do it all on top of the wall, but it turned out I could do some of it on the ground, so I did. But that'll show up in our next video. So right now I am so hey Melinda Dad.
Hello.
So I just showed kind of the start of putting stuff up there just to give you an idea of what it was going to look like. Now it was just sitting there, so of course it was up and down and all that. Um, but that is where it will go. But it wasn't put together or anything yet in the video. So I started either that day or right after that, putting it together, and I've made it 3/4 of the way around. So I've done 3 of the 4 walls, or at least 3 of the 4 sections of wall for the box beam. The last one left is the full bale wall, that west wall. But I kind of got a hang of it. It's a little tough because, you know, I'm screwing the plywood on from underneath because the plywood's underneath. So I'm screwing the plywood on from the bottom. And to do that on top of the wall, on top of bales, you know, you have to kind of move it around so you can get access to be able to, you know, so you have to pull it one way to be able to get one side and then push it the other way to get the other side. And so it's a little slow, but I'm getting there. So yeah, I've got 3 of the 4 walls. I've been working till dark pretty much most nights, until I can't see anymore pretty much. But it's going all right. So the trusses are here. I think everybody saw that. We talked about, I think we mentioned that last week, and then it showed up in the video. But that's what's going on. Trusses are here.
I'm making a
Box
scoreboard.
beams going together. Pam's making a scoreboard for cornhole that we've talked about forever and have never made. So
I went and found some scrap wood, and then I had him, like, it was like just a round piece, and then I had him screw that on. I thought he would just take it and, like, I thought it would be very simple, but then of course he put his Brianness on it. His
well,
Brianness.
it could have been much simpler. You
He
could have
had
done it,
take
and
like
it would have been like a base with like a stick sticking out of it like this at an angle, and it would have fallen over. And she would have gone, I don't understand what the problem is.
He had to get out his arithmetic pad
So,
and,
of
like,
course,
write down equations.
she brought me this little round base. You know, there was just a piece of plywood that I had cut. You know, I think it was actually from our
It was
bucket
the toilet hole.
So it was the hole
The
that I had
hole
cut
for
out
the
of a piece of
toilet.
plywood, and it was just laying around.
It was a
And
circle.
she brought it to me, and she said, "Can you just screw these 2 pieces together?" And of course, I had to measure to find the center of the thing, so that because I mean, if you don't put the thing in the center of the post in the center of the base, I mean, it's just gonna. And she doesn't think about
Well,
any of
I
that.
had an idea, and you said my idea was okay, but then you said, just let me do it. And it didn't take that long.
It
But
didn't
then
take too long.
I tried to spray paint it, and the spray paint was not coming out right. And then I tried to, like, use the masking tape, and the masking tape was, like, old, and it wouldn't peel. And
Oh, yeah.
it was
So if you guys don't watch Simply Pam,
Jess,
hey,
hello.
welcome, Jess. Yeah, feel free to go back and watch some old videos.
Yeah, we have 2 channels.
We've got some playlists to see.
Oh, you're about to say, hey, you're about to
Yeah,
mention
so I just watched it. The video that Pam, she had told me she had trouble with the tape, and she brought it to me, and I tried to peel it off too, and it was a pain.
It's only
It
a
didn't
minute
work.
long, like a
But
minute long.
yeah, she made like a minute and a half video of her trying to peel masking tape, and it's pretty funny. So,
I was angry at the tape. And, you know, I said, I finally just, somebody suggested that I take a knife and cut into it, which I did, and I peeled it, and it's still,
oh, the tape.
it would not peel off in one. It would just come off in strips.
This
So
is
I just
okay.
freehanded it, and it looks, I think it looks
I'm
pretty good.
surprised you didn't try to freehand it from the start, because you normally do.
Well, I watched a video, and in the video they used spray paint. So I was going to do that.
Has anybody ever had this problem? This was the blue, like, painter's tape. It
It's
happened to be
old.
kind of the thin, and yeah, it is pretty old, but I mean, it's been in the shed and everything. But I didn't know. I mean, I can only imagine that it's from the age of the tape.
From the
But
80s.
has anybody? It's not that old.
No, it's not.
Has anybody ever had a problem with painter's tape? Not basically after it's, I don't know, a
Um,
couple of years old, it just doesn't work? I don't know.
Karen, you know Joe and Karen from Sierra Vista?
Yeah.
She said she's the one that said, "Did you take a knife and cut it?" And Melissa also said, "You should take a knife." And
I assumed
I
once you got
did.
past maybe one kind of revolution of the
I
tape,
cut
maybe you'd be
through a
all right,
bunch of
but
them.
wow.
I cut through a whole strip and I tried peeling them, and they would never
So
peel.
the whole
It
thing
always.
is wasted, you're telling me?
I don't know. I'm gonna try again tomorrow, but I don't even need it anymore, so I don't care.
Well, anyway, yeah, I'm surprised you even tried it.
But tomorrow I would like your help in screwing the scoreboard part to the stick,
To the post.
the post.
The stick.
I'm gonna do a little video on it. So it's a scoreboard. So he can. I always get so confused. I
You
cannot
still
keep
won't be able to
score.
keep score, you know
So
that.
is this going to make it more of a pain when we play cornhole? You have to go over each time, and
Well,
but at
yeah.
least you don't forget the score.
The adhesive can dry out. That must be what's happened.
Yeah, I think
but I
that's
mean,
right.
I've had lots of rolls of tape that have been around forever. I've never had one that bad.
Oh, hi Taylor, Melissa.
Hey, listen, Taylor.
Oh, this is a good time to say that.
Oh, good segue.
Or should I wait until
Go
the
ahead,
very
Ellen.
end?
Go
That
ahead.
I just wanted to say that Melissa and Taylor Phillips, who has somehow gotten 3,000 subscribers from not making videos, but he made a really good video that was a Prince video, and it has like 70 or it's got over 700,000 views on it. Thank you. Anyway, Taylor and Melissa are really great friends, and I love them very much. And I just want to say that Taylor has had a really hard go of it lately. He's got problems with his eyes, and he's had to have eye surgeries. And I want everyone to say a prayer that the eye surgeries are going to work. Because if anyone deserves to see, it's Taylor. And so I took them to Tucson today because Taylor had to go to it for a checkup. And all day long, I kept saying, "Taylor, look at this. Taylor, look at that." And I'm like, they're like, "He can't see." I felt so bad.
Hey,
anyway,
Wayne.
Hi, Wayne.
That's a new name. Welcome.
Anyway.
Where you at?
Masking tape is fussy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's the deal. Is there any trick to making it last longer, or does it just, if you keep it too long, it's just garbage?
It's cheap, and why don't we just get new tape?
I guess.
We have a whole bunch of more old tape, but we should throw it all away.
I had several rolls of painter's tape. I guess those would go back to the house. They must. I mean, what's the last thing I painted? That's got to go back to the house, right?
Yeah, it goes back.
So yeah,
it goes all the way back to Chandler. So
they're several years old, I guess.
Because we've been here almost 4 years.
And I will say, them being out in
You're putting off some heat.
Well, I just came in.
Get your leg over there.
So not only are they several years old, but once they're stored in the shed, temperatures go up, down, up, down, up, down. I'm sure that doesn't help at all. So
hi, Adam.
Hey, Adam.
Oh man.
Seems cayenne is not a good substitute for cinnamon. I would think that'd be a little spicy, wouldn't
it? Cayenne?
Pepper? Cayenne pepper?
Did I miss something though?
Well, no, he's just, I don't know. I guess he said he made something that
okay. Yes, that is not good. Like pumpkin pie, that would be bad.
Oh, that'd be a spicy pumpkin pie.
Excuse me, I'm thirsty.
So I guess
I had pizza at lunch.
I'm new to the area. Been here almost 4 months, but got land and just got sewer put on property and moving there in 5 days. Wow. Congratulations.
Cool.
Did we know that? I don't know if we've ever talked.
I need my fan.
Am I forgetting somebody? Are you in Cochise? Are you talking about Cochise County? Good for you.
Excuse me while I get my fan. I have to get it. I'm very hot.
I'm not that hot.
I think you're putting off some heat. Oh well, you know how I have my.
We just realized we have frog tape. If you want, it's all right. Oh yes.
Who has frogs? Frogs tape.
Taylor.
Oh, it's okay. I don't need it anymore. I already did the painting
in Bisbee now until the move. I love Bisbee. Love Bisbee.
Oofta. Did somebody say ooh? Does that say oofta?
Yeah. Oofta.
Whew. Oh Lord.
Let's see what
Oof.
else is going on. So yeah, box beam is progressing. That the yesterday's video was just a start. The next one, it's hard to film that, of course, because I'm up on a ladder the whole time and I can only do so much on a
I've
tripod
been
and whatever.
I've been filming a
So
little bit.
we'll throw in some of Pam coming out to visit me while I'm on a ladder, but uh, I won't get a whole lot of close-up stuff of that progress, but I'll show a little bit of it. So the next video probably will show the progress of that. But I hope to finish that up tomorrow. The connect, let's say, assembling the whole box beam around the top of the entire wall. I hope to finish that tomorrow, and as soon as I finish that, then I'm going to start I'm going to put the strapping over the top of the wall and start to crank it down. So the rafters probably.
Hey Ben.
Hey Ben. Probably we will do the rafters. I'm guessing right after Thanksgiving, because like I said, I'm hoping to finish that last piece of box beam up tomorrow, and then put the strapping on that's going to squeeze the box beam down. That'll take a little bit of time to squeeze that box beam down, because I mentioned it in the last video, but the walls kind of they're not perfectly straight. I mean, they'll never be perfectly straight, but some of them are a little out of whack right now. So as I crank the wall down, there'll be a lot of tweaking to kind of make sure the wall stays square and the top stays square and the walls are straight. And I'm gonna have to kind of punch bales one way or the other to move them around a little bit. So that'll take a little bit of time. And then I have to build a short, like a 2.5 foot tall, just framed wall on the high side of the build to make the high side of the building. So there's still a little bit more to do before the rafters go up, but I am hoping to do it right after Thanksgiving, probably like the week after Thanksgiving, maybe the week or weekend after Thanksgiving. So let me step back a little bit. Let's see. I saw a question or two. So when are the rafters going up? Hopefully right after Thanksgiving. What do you guys do for the companies that don't deliver to PO boxes? Well, we've had an address for a while now, so we haven't had to worry about that in a while. But back when we had that problem, we did, we would sometimes borrow a neighbor's address if we
Yeah, our
could.
neighbor down the street let us
So
have it delivered, and then we would go pick it up.
that's the best workaround I know, is find somebody close to you that is willing to let you use their address for a delivery. We did that a couple of times, and we've done it for other people a couple of times. Cool beans. How much will the bales compress? So the bales should compress in the neighborhood of 3 to 4 inches. And that's about right now how much they stick up above the bucks. So that should be just right. Of course, bales aren't perfect. So there's a little bit, it's not exactly, they're not all exactly the same height, but within an inch or so they are. So we should be able to pull them all down to that 8 foot level, the top of the bucks. So yeah, it should be in the neighborhood of 3 to 4 inches. The one bale wall that I did a test on, and I squeezed it down. I squeezed it down 2.5, and I think I could have gone a little more. And that was before I added the extra half bale on top. So that'll give a little bit more. So I'm guessing in the neighborhood of 3 inches or so, give or take, which is about what we have to come down right now. So
Sam.
Just use
Sam.
the physical address of the PO box. Don't mention it's a PO box. I never heard about that. Sam Wait, there's another new name. Congratulations on going for the opt-out permit. Where you at, roughly? Interesting. That's worth a shot. Yeah, I'd never heard the physical address of the PO box. I mean, that is generally a post office. Are PO boxes anywhere else other than a post office? I mean, they're post office boxes. Maybe they are. Like how fast the bales went up, but we are going to do earth bags. That's cool. That's one of the reasons we chose bales. It's not the only reason, cool. but they do go up. The walls go up pretty quick once you kind of get the hang of it, and once you have your layout, and once you know what you're doing, they really do go up pretty quick. I had a couple of false starts, let's say, and slow starts, but they do go up pretty fast. But earth bags are super cool. I'm sure you're aware probably of Jim and Jessica, the Green Dream Project, doing a lot of earth bags. We like all the natural building techniques. They've all got kind of their pluses and minuses. We chose straw bale, but they're all cool.
Thank you, Sam.
Yes, that's why we moved here. Yeah. Jim and Jessica are big.
Yeah, they're big. I remember when Jim was one of the first people we met when we all moved out here about the same time, and
Yep.
he had about 100 subscribers back then.
Yeah.
Air Creek.
Air Creek House Build. Hey guys.
Hello, April and Red.
Cool, cool emoji there. It looks like one of your paintings.
It's like a little cactus. I'm blind. I can't see.
A cactus and a sun.
We get deliveries
from FedEx and UPS to our physical address. We do. Yeah, we get deliveries now. Since we're a ways, I mean, so we're across a wash from kind of the main road. So what we've done actually is we've put a delivery box actually down, and I have a video on that. We built a little delivery box that we've put. Is that a half mile?
Now I'm wondering if we should move it because
there's more traffic going by it now. So I worry about it a little bit. But the point of it was to stop or to prevent, I don't want FedEx and UPS to try and cross the wash when the weather's bad. And actually, even when the weather's not bad, they tend to tear roads up. I mean, they cruise around our dirt roads really fast. Mm-hmm. So yeah, of course, when we put that delivery box, we were kind of the only ones here beyond that, that would pass that spot. Now there's a handful of people that pass that spot, so I'm not as crazy about it now, but it should be safe. We don't get too many deliveries, and when we do, we know they're coming and we look for them pretty quick. So if we do that, it should be all right. If you leave one in there for a little while, then you might be asking for trouble. Mm-hmm. But it's worked out all right. We tried the PO box thing with Amazon deliveries, but it didn't work. It was being delivered by UPS. They sent it all back. Yeah, so when you order off Amazon, your stuff can get delivered by UPS, FedEx, U.S. Postal Service. So it's kind of a crapshoot. You have to check when your stuff gets delivered to see who's delivering it. But if it's the Postal Service, then they actually should be okay with the PO box, if I recall. It's not until it goes on to, if they pass it on to a UPS or a FedEx, they're going to say no. But
why won't they do it to a PO box?
I'm not sure. You would think they could just take it to the post office and drop it, but I'm not sure. I'm sure there are reasons, but
weird.
But yeah, we had that trouble. I think everybody pretty much does, and I think the most common solution is ask a neighbor, depending on your situation. If maybe you don't have a neighbor, maybe you don't know a neighbor, but I think that's one of the most common solutions. Just ask a neighbor. Any mice issues with the bales before you get them plastered? Maybe just us in Northern AZ that has that problem. Well,
we haven't.
We haven't. Now, I won't say, our bales sat out there for a good 6 months or so. Now they weren't tarped completely. They were tarped a little bit on the edges because they were under our carport. So they didn't really need a tarp over top for rain or anything, but I did put some on the sides, and I did put a tarp on the ground, and then I put pallets, and then I put the straw on pallets. Now, I will say this, as I pulled those bales, so it sat out there for a while, and we saw critters go in and out under those pallets and everything, but they couldn't really dig up from underground because the tarp was there. So I think that helped with snakes and stuff. I think stuff went under there, but didn't stay under there for long. It was just kind of passing through. Mm-hmm. But I will say, as I took bales out, there definitely were some critters probably digging around those bales.
Yeah.
So,
but
we did have some activity, but nothing like buried in it, or no bales just completely torn up or anything like that. We didn't have massive problems or anything. But
what does that say?
Smart Post is USPS that is utilized by UPS and FedEx. Never heard of it. The post office said they can't be responsible for proof of delivery. Oh, yeah, I suppose. Anyway, you guys in the Wilcox Basin as well. We are not. We're near Benson.
Between Tombstone and Benson.
So between Tombstone and Benson. Yeah. Yeah, I figured it had something to do with kind of the proof, but that's funny because you know, when they drop, even when they drop at your door, I don't even think they bother to knock, so they just kind of drop and leave. But when they drop at our delivery box, they drop and leave. So there's no proof really of anything. So I find that interesting. But yeah, we like it here. We've liked it here so far.
Mhm.
Uh, Nice break from the weather we were used to in Phoenix. So
Oh,
that's been
yeah.
nice. A little windy, but
That's really in March, though.
yeah,
March through
mostly.
June is
Yeah.
in the afternoons is very windy.
But I think that wind, as much as it's annoying, yeah, that's part of the reason our temperatures are,
Mhm.
it's the elevation, it's some wind, and so we can't complain too much because it makes our temperatures better.
I really love it.
But yeah, it's been great. We've been here.
3
Wow,
and
we're
a
pushing 4 years in a few
oh,
months.
wow.
Um, do you guys do any trapping? We do not. I saw some people
Trapping?
on YouTube trap squirrels and rabbits for
Oh.
stew. No, we
Oh,
do not.
no. No, no,
Pam's not a
no,
big fan. Pam, we don't even.
negatory.
We're real close to vegan. I won't say
My
exactly vegan, but we're close.
my dad was a
Um,
hunter, and I saw things that I would wish I had not seen, and I think it's just my opinion, but everybody's entitled to their own opinion, and I think it's cruel.
Geothermal
I
tubes.
wouldn't wanna be trapped.
I would love to do geothermal tubes. We
Me
haven't we
too.
haven't planned them in yet, and I didn't plan them into the design because I wasn't sure quite exactly how to pull it off. But I haven't given up on them. If we can add them after the fact, I'd like to still try because we've had a little bit of experience, and some we've learned a good bit and visited
About
earth ships,
earthships.
and that's a big part of them, and it works. I mean, it really works. So I still would like to try and work those in, but it's going to be an after the fact kind of thing. So we'll see if I can make that happen. But love those tubes. We've made uh, had two visits in earth ships, one in the summer and one in the winter, and the
Mhm.
temperature in there was beautiful. And I mean, there is no air conditioning. I don't even know if those places. I don't even
I
remember
don't
them
think they
having
do.
fans.
Mm, I don't
I
remember.
don't remember seeing ceiling fans. But so not I'd like to. It's a like to in the future, but I haven't planned them in yet. It just it would have been one of those things that probably would have just kept me from starting even longer, which I had already waited too long to start. So I just went forward, and I didn't exactly know how to pull them off. The beauty of doing those geothermal tubes in the earth ships is you get it kind of for free in a sense, right? Because part of an earth ship is berming up a bunch of dirt on the back of it. So you're essentially creating that underground uh, run that you can put those tubes through above ground. You're creating it when you build the earth ship because you berm dirt on the back of it. So you basically you can lay the tube down before you even burn that dirt up, and then you pile that dirt on top of it, and your tube is now underground, even though you never really went underground. Well, the fact that we don't have a berm like that means we have to actually physically go underground and make a run and come back up and get into the house. And so that's you kind of get it, let's say, easy for in an earth ship. So geothermal tubes are cool. Takes tons of digging. Yeah. So that kind of was the issue for me. Again, I'd still like to do it. Um, I think we could dig 5 to 8 feet. We even know a guy who would probably bring a backhoe over and do it. But
The
but
floor is sunken right now.
will the floor be sunken? I don't think it will. Yeah, I it actually is kind of right now because we're going to build an earthen floor. So we're going to be putting layers of things to build up that floor. But right now, we had actually built up our foundation with tires. So the foundation, the actual where the house starts, is a little higher, and then inside the house, it actually kind of dips down a little bit into a bowl. But we will fill that up when we make our earthen floor.
Today, I think it was my brother Mike says, where are all the pipes, the plumbing
Mm,
pipes? And I said, I don't know. I have to ask Brian. Or
yeah,
he goes, when are you doing the plumbing? And I said, I don't know. I have to
I
ask
gotta
Brian. But
say, I mean, it's too late. We're gonna have to figure it all out. But you know, I'm sort of kicking myself. I mean, I did think enough to put a waste pipe from the bathroom area. It's already connected up to the septic connection. So we have our waste pipe, which really we should be able to get everything in the house to that waste area. It's in the bathroom right now, but we should be able to make a run from the sink to that waste area. So I'm not too concerned about uh, the stuff getting out. I haven't really figured out how the water's coming in yet. And I know you probably should think of that beforehand, and I probably should have maybe gone underground and under the foundation, but it's a little too late for that now. So I'm gonna have to figure out how the water's coming
Well,
in.
everything's open
Um,
inside the house. I mean, you
but
just have to figure
but
out how to
yeah,
get it in
I still
underneath. I
I
mean,
still, when it comes to electrical and plumbing, I don't mind it being somewhat exposed. Now, it depends on what it is. So, um,
the pipes, you mean?
the pipes shouldn't have to be because they either will be like behind some kind of cabinetry or something,
Hmm.
or under some kind of cabinetry, or when it comes to like getting the sink drainage over to that bathroom area, I think again because we're doing the floor the way we're doing it, I think we can actually run it basically under the floor.
Did you answer that
So
question right there? The
is the
uh,
ground diggable 5 days? Yeah, yeah,
okay.
we could do that, and like I said, I'd still like to do it in the future. The part that freaks me out is this is the geothermal tubes, the going down and then running and then coming up, and I'm worried about moisture, you know? So, I'm worried about something happening in there and there being moisture in the bottom. Again, with an earth chip, you basically that tube is basically a straight run, and you can even just, you know, slightly tilt it so that if there were any condensation buildup or anything like that, it would either dry out or run out or whatever. But when you actually start something above ground, take it underground, run it along, bring it back up and into the house, it's that part of it that scared me so much that I didn't know how to deal with what happens now. Obviously you can try to keep water from getting in, of course, like rain or anything like that, but just from temperature changes, I was worried about like condensation and things, and water just kind of sitting down there and sitting water, standing water. Now you've got bugs, you've got smells, you've got algae, you've got all kind of, I don't know, I guess there's not sunlight in there, but that freaked me out. So I'll have to think about that some more. Again, it's kind of a no-brainer in earth chip, but I don't know how to make it work for me yet. So, how did you know you weren't in a floodplain when you bought the property? We actually, the edge of our property is. So you can go on Cochise County's website and see all the floodplain stuff.
We're kind of like whenever Bill and Yvonne had their land flood,
Yeah.
we got really lucky because we're more up on a hill than they
Yeah.
are.
I mean, so
So
yeah, we knew there's a wash right next to us, a pretty good size wash, and that shows up on the floodplain map as a flood area. I forget even what they call it. But so we knew about that, but we also, just the way our land is laid out, the main well, all of our land, that's an edge of our land, and we're just slightly higher. So we knew, even though we knew water would run there, and it does, and uh,
3 months out of the
it can
year.
be damaging. We're the main part of our land is really slightly above that, so we don't really have to worry about it. We have to worry about it eroding things, but we don't have to worry about it kind of running onto us or into us. Um, but yeah, Cochise County's website is the short answer to that. They have all
Well,
that information.
we've been here for almost 4 years, and it's the worst part was the water pipe that was in there.
Yeah,
That was probably the worst thing,
yeah.
but
If anybody hasn't seen, if anybody's new to our channel and want to see our water woes, I mean that's really the running water in the wash. The biggest problem it's been for us is it's eroding some of our land, and that land happened to have our
water
water
pipe.
pipe in it that comes from our well, which is a little ways away. And that has been difficult for us. Um,
But
Moisture
now
can
that
be a
we
big,
have the water tanks, that should help.
yeah. I mean, we haven't made the complete switch over yet, but we're real close to doing that. Moisture, big problem. It can be addressed, but you were right about your fears. Yeah, we should be able to do something about it, but I'd have to know more. And again, I basically just decided I would spend too long trying to figure it out before I started the house. So I said, I'll just start the house And if I can work them in after the fact, I'll try. I would still love to because I know they work.
The
Um,
main thing is to get the roof onto the house before it gets rainy again,
uh,
right? Am
yeah,
I right?
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sam says I get a bit worried about the sheet floods. I mean, another thing you could do is, talk to people. Talk to people around your area.
What is sheet floods
I
again?
mean, just water sheeting
Oh, yeah,
um,
that's
across. I mean, some of it is obvious, if you've got high spots on your land or something, and if you can look around you and there's not a high spot that you seem to be kind of, let's say, downstream of,
a good the
then
a
it
good
shouldn't be a
book.
big deal. But
What is that book that we have? That's a really
rainwater harvesting, is
yeah,
that what it's called?
I think so. It's like
Brad Lancaster,
I always say Burt
Burt Lancaster.
Lancaster.
The guy
Brad
named Brad Lancaster wrote a book or a set of books called 2 volumes, I guess,
and
called Rainwater Harvesting.
he
There's a lot of
has
good
a
information
lot
in
of
there.
things about burming your like planting things and burming the what do you call it? Burming? Is that what I'm
Yeah,
burming? Yeah.
berm and basin and all kind of
Burming
different.
basin.
Yeah, there's so even if you've got water coming at your property, there are things you can do
Yeah.
to spread, slow all that stuff. I mean, but it definitely is something you want to be aware of. And the ultimate answer
Swales too.
is
Hi, Aaron.
uh
That's a
hey,
new name.
um
I have lived
ooh,
in a strawbale house. Oh, cool.
nice. How'd you like it? Oh, shoot, it's delightful. Awesome. Swales help with sheet flow. Sure, sure.
Also, I think a lot of that stuff can be found on YouTube. A lot of
Oh yeah,
Brad
yeah.
Lancaster's stuff.
Obviously, you don't want to be in the middle of some big gush of water, but most things can be, worked around with earthwork techniques, right? Like berms and basins and swales and things. So as long
And
as you pay attention and you do a little bit of work, uh, you should be able to manage most of those things.
Brad is from Tucson, and he was like
Yeah, yeah.
instrumental in Tucson for doing a lot of rainwater stuff. So I need to get. I hear Tiny Shiny Home knows a guy that does planning.
Need to get that one. The book?
The book, I
Yeah,
think.
the book is great, and again, yeah, the guy who wrote it is from and still lives, I believe, in Tucson. So it's, you know, I
Yeah,
don't know if
he's
everybody else has this problem, but I do. When I find information on YouTube or information in books, a lot of time it's localized, right? And even if they talk about other areas, usually they kind of focus on their own experience in their own locations. So it can be hard sometimes to go, well, yeah, so and so did this or that or whatever, but that's where they live and not here. It's nice that the guy who wrote that thing is from Tucson, wrote it in Tucson,
yeah.
and it's all about basically his experience in Tucson. So
We are in
so that's
the
kind of nice.
we are in a perfect area for a moat. Actually, I've said that before
Free
that we
mountain.
should build a moat
We have so our
because we're surrounded
yeah, our
by
land is kind of like our
an
our
island.
our piece is like a triangle,
Yeah,
and two of those sides are, one is a big wash, and the other is now,
a
I
big
call it a
crack.
ravine, a big crack. It's not technically a wash, but I mean it is a ravine, a good sized ravine. So
We're
we've
on
got
the
water on two
Bermuda
of three
Triangle.
two of three sides of our triangle. Um,
It's all right though.
but
It's
it's all right.
actually like one of the cracks where we just experimented with. We put some tires in it and then filled it in with just all the weeds
Whew.
and stuff that we've collected over time.
Oh yeah.
And it looks like it's like a lot of trees and growth have come in there
Smaller
now.
smaller ones you can kind of manage
Yeah,
with
and
with a few techniques. You
it
can you
seems
can
to
fill them
be
with stuff. You can, yeah.
yeah, it's filling in with a lot
So
more
all the
things.
yeah, all the weeds that we had from this year's rains in the monsoon season, it covered our place in 3 foot tall grass, basically, right? So when we cut all that down, I basically took all that,
He
and
weed
you
eated.
needed somewhere to throw it basically after you cut it all down,
Yeah, so we was
and
just scrape it up, put it in a bear or put it in the
like a
gorilla
big a
cart.
big trash can. I put it in a big trash can,
Oh,
and
that's
I would
true.
carry that trash can basically to one of these little ravine areas
I put it
and
in
dump it.
the gorilla cart and drug it over there.
And after you dump enough of it, yeah, it slows the water down there. And when the water slows down, things grow. So, and those weeds are like mulch basically.
Oh,
So
also, because we have so much straw, we've noticed that there is straw growing everywhere.
I think,
And then when he weed eated it down, there are just it was just piles of straw.
if I had a baling machine, I think we could make our own house without even buying any straw.
So we have plenty of straw around here,
Yeah.
here now. It's funny. That's real funny.
Anyway,
Maybe buy one of those. Oh,
floating houses.
I'm behind. I read that.
Anyway, it's nice to see
New people.
It's nice to see some new people out there. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Are you ready to eat
Yeah,
dinner?
it could be a positive if you're prepared for it. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. Of course, I didn't eat yet tonight. I basically just quit working before we started this. You have done great research. I enjoy the livelihood direct from your labor and knowledge. Thank you.
Thank you. And yeah, if other people can learn from our mistakes,
I'm glad some people like it. I hope people can learn from it. I don't claim to be an expert, but I do try to do my research.
oh boy, does he
try
ever
to-
do research?
Some would say I do too much.
Some.
I do try to, kind of show all of or most of my mistakes to try and help other people avoid them, hopefully. So yeah, I mean, not everybody's doing the same thing we do, but I mean, you can still, with all these natural building techniques, there's a lot of overlap. There's things you can learn from each other. And do you have Facebook? Pam does. Pam's on Facebook.
I'm on Facebook. It's my last name used to be Bond, and it's Pamela Bond Price, and it's not it's not a private account. So
She's also got she's got her own channel called Simply Pam that she'll do quicker. She'll do some videos quicker than I will on
I
our
put out a
channel.
lot more useless
They
information.
tend to be shorter. They tend to be, they're more day-to-day
It's
type
like
stuff.
behind the scenes type stuff.
So, and you can, anybody can always email us and stuff. And, you're on Instagram a decent amount. I don't
Yeah,
know that
I
you're
do
on
have
Twitter very
Instagram.
much, but
Oh, there's also a link to the Facebook in all of our videos.
yeah, there's links to Facebook
and
Instagram in all of our descriptions of our videos. So I am not on Facebook. Never really have been.
He never did.
And I'm glad.
And he yells at me for being on Facebook too much sometimes.
My little homestead is very close to us. I believe they're in Benson. Has had sheet flow over part of their property, and I think did some hugel culture berms to redirect the flow and soak up the water for growing plants. Yeah,
that's cool.
Water flowing across your property is not necessarily a bad thing if you think about it and do something about it. I mean, there would be some circumstance maybe where if you had a massive amount of water coming at you, that it would just get ugly. But for most amounts of water that come at you, they're in Mescal. I knew they were near us. But yeah, if you're just aware of the water and you do a little bit of earthworks, you can actually turn that water to your benefit. You can help grow things.
And
you can improve your land, your soil, stuff like that.
At some point I did try to contact my little homestead.
Yeah, we've never really gotten.
We got no response from
We've never
them,
gotten
so
in contact. I don't know if they really.
I don't know what. Maybe they were too busy or had too many people trying to contact them. So.
But we're aware that they're out there. We've seen some of their stuff, of course, and we know they're close. But
yeah, they do some really cool stuff.
But we've never really gotten in touch with them.
But we have met tiny, shiny homes. And
oh yeah, we try to meet everybody who's near us. It's just nice to put faces to names and stuff like that. And,
Minnesota. It's cold there.
2 weddings this year. Oh, I did notice at least one wedding just recently, I thought.
Oh, my.
So Wayne is from Minnesota. So I'm from back in Pittsburgh area. Pam's from mostly Texas.
Mostly.
So yeah, I left the cold a long time ago and have not looked back.
Me too. Texas weather it's just too much tornadoes and storms, and it can be like 80 one day and then 0 the next day, and but mainly the tornadoes. I don't like it. I don't like the weather.
Just picked up lots in Pierce. Would love to come see your spot when we head out that way. Hey,
Sure.
let us know. We're pretty open to getting together with people usually, so and I don't
Yeah, we
mind
have an email on it's midlifeprices dot or at
at yeah,
gmail.com.
yeah. We're pretty easy to get a hold of. Um, as
You
long
want
as we plan something, we don't mind visitors most of the time.
you want to wrap it up here so we
Yeah,
can go.
sure.
He's hungry.
All right, y'all. So I just got done working right before we started here, so I'm gonna get some dinner. Uh, um,
Oh, hey,
oh, Carly.
Carly. Sorry, we
Um,
were just about to wrap it up, but
again,
thank you for stopping in.
great to see some new names. Happy to see people joining. Hopefully you like chatting, and hopefully you like what you see in the videos. If you're new, go check them out. I've tried to put some playlists together so you can kind of focus on certain things if you want. A couple of things that we've built outside, and a couple other lists of things we've put together. But there's some stuff about the RV if you're into that stuff,
And
and a couple of different builds.
I don't like to ask for people to subscribe to my channel, but I'm almost to 1,000. Well, I'm at
She's getting
800,
close.
so
She's getting close.
it's just kind of stuck at 800 and doesn't go
Check
anywhere.
out
So
Pam's channel if you want some laughs and you want to see a little more often what we're up to, and maybe it is sort of behind the scenes type stuff, more day-to-day stuff, but it can be funny.
oh, hey, Warren.
Hey, Warren was out filming.
Ah, are we going to see some new footage on
All right, Warren, glad to hear it.
AHP?
Sorry, we're wrapping up here,
Wrapping
Warren,
it up.
but
Brian's
good to see
hungry.
you. Hope to see some video from you soon.
He's been working hard.
Framing. It was a typo or an autocorrect.
Oh, framing.
Ah,
Okay.
well, good for you. Awesome.
Oh, thank you, Alan. You're very
Um,
kind.
but I guess we're gonna call it for the night. My stomach is starting to growl. We'll see y'all. I add you, Pam, on Facebook. See you later. Awesome.
All right. I will,
Um,
Wayne, I will go look at it, and I delete a lot of them because I feel like they're I get a lot of what do you call those fake friend
oh yeah, I
requests
just
of
sub back
scams.
all this. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
keep in touch, everybody.
Thank you,
Reach
everyone.
out to us if you want. Stop back next week. We do this
Every week.
just about every week. We've only called a few of these. We've only canceled a few of these. So just about every week we do this, and we're trying to get videos out about once a week, usually right before this. So we've got something to kind of talk about, or so. Hopefully everybody can make it back, and you like what you're seeing. Thanks for coming by. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks.
I'm gonna get
Bye.
something to eat. Night, everybody. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.